Bianca Alonso with Art, Wings, and Wishes, welcoming you back to layers 2 and 3 of the Painting Made Easy process as we paint the word yes onto our canvas. So if you missed the first 2 videos, let me give you a brief recap about what we've been doing. We identified an area, or maybe more than one area of our lives that we want to say yes to. We want to make this into a reality. We don't want that thing just sitting in the to-do bin for some time in the future. We want to start taking steps to manifest that thing and start having fun. So, on the first layer, what we did was that we painted our affirmations and our yes statements onto the canvas, and then we covered them with these beautiful colors that we chose and that we felt drawn to. Now, for this next layer, what we're going to do is we're going to make the outline of the word yes using a charcoal pencil. So you could grab these at Michael's or online at Amazon, and we're going to be able to trace the word yes onto the canvas as large as we can, both vertically and horizontally, and then we're going to paint them in the final layer and paint around the yes and add little designs and flowers and maybe even stencils to make our beautiful yes painting. And this yes painting is always going to be a reminder, and it's actually going to be the first step into getting this thing that we want so much and that we wish for in our lives into reality. So I hope you join me, and don't forget that if you do, please share in the comments below. And I'm also going to have these videos on my YouTube channel of Art, Wings, and Wishes. And don't feel that you have to rush and get these done. I put the videos up so that you could do it at your leisure and when you had the time. So enjoy the process, and I'll see you at the canvas. Hey guys, so welcome back to layer 2 of the Painting Made Easy process as we create the outline of our yes for the canvas. Now I'm using a white acrylic paint here, titanium white to be exact, but you could certainly use black or Payne's gray if you prefer that with the colors that you used. I used a charcoal pencil to draw out or trace that outline on, and I have an eraser too in case I wanted to change any of the lines. So that is pretty much what goes on this layer where we're just outlining, and I've used most of the canvas as much as possible because that helps us in the Painting Made Easy process, because now we almost have like sections that we can paint in or design and do little paintings or little doodles or put our stencils on. And as you can see, I'm going to put a stencil on here. Now, unfortunately, I did put the stencil on and it came out a little bit blotchy. So I don't know if I should have done it with a thinner brush, but as you can see, it's not very defined. So what I went ahead and did was I actually wiped it off real quickly and put another stencil that I had found that I liked a little bit better, that was a little bit bigger, and then I was very careful to go over that with a finer tipped brush. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to pick out colors that I want to use on my canvas. And just as we did with the first layer, there's really no rhyme or reason to the colors that we're choosing. We're really going with the flow and just doing and choosing those colors that feel right to us at that moment. Now, if you're doing a certain composition, for example, when I did my power symbol and I used the dolphin, I knew the dolphin was going to be in the water, so I definitely wanted to use some blues and some aqua greens. But if you don't have a composition in mind, then definitely just let it flow and use the colors that come to mind as you're working. Another recommendation for this layer is that when you are applying the second layer of paints, do so in a light way so that the first layer of paints can peek through at certain points. This gives a little bit more, adds a little bit more interest to the canvas and creates a little bit more dimension to our paintings. So here you see that I'm working with the stencil that I had painted in. I wanted to give it a little bit more definition, so I went ahead and used my Posca pen to outline the edges. And then I came back with some purple to make the inside of the petals a little bit more vibrant. So again, I'm not really thinking about or have a plan in place. I'm just doing what feels right to me. You know, I wanted to make that lotus flower radiate, and so I put a little bit of yellow around it. And now I'm filling in my letters and pretty much just having fun and allowing myself to use this time to get in touch with my right brain, with my intuition, with my creativity. And another recommendation that I wanted to make, and this is going to add some balance and unity to your piece, is if you're using a color on one side of the canvas, then make it show up or add it to another side of the canvas. So for example, you see that I had put in some pink at the bottom because I saw that I had it on the upper right hand part, and I also had used it in the letter Y. So that's just one of the things that helps our painting to have that sense of balance, as I mentioned. And here you see me adding a little blue because I just added some blue there. And even though it turned into purple, it actually works out because I do have a version of purple on the letter S. So here, where I had previously done those markings with that liquid acrylic, I went ahead and made another yes. And again, no rhyme or reason. That was just what I felt called to do. And so that's what I did. And you can see that I'm going to start adding another stencil into my piece. And this stencil is this little one here that I'm going to be using is the spiral. And I always love adding spirals into pieces where I want to get the energy going. The spiral to me represents movement and it represents creation. So by doing that and adding that on, it's also another symbolic thing that I'm doing to really kind of add that feeling that I really want to make things happen. I really want to get things going. And you can see that I'm being extra careful with my paint on this particular stencil so that it doesn't get blotchy. And I used a fine tipped paintbrush as well to be a little more precise when I'm adding on the paints. And one of the things that you could also do is, even though I'm applying yellow, you could go ahead and choose another color and apply that right over it, and then it gives it, again, kind of like a little more dimension, and it makes it interesting. You know, I added the white had a little red, and that's okay. I wasn't trying to be precise because this is just about having fun right now. And really just playing around with the colors. And you can see from the way the spiral looks, it's got a little bit of the yellow, the little bit of the orange, and some white. And now what I'm going to do is just go over my white border for my letters and just clean them up and make them pop a little bit more. Now you may choose to do that, or you may like, the effect of having the letters blend into your background. So that's going to be up to you and what you feel called to do. That's the lovely part of the Painting Made Easy process. I'm here to kind of give you an example and to guide you through this process, but the real fun is listening to your own intuition and tapping into that and putting that onto the canvas. So this is my interpretation of yes, and yours might look completely different, and that's perfect because that is what makes all of us special. So I'm going to keep working at this, and we're almost at the end of the video. And even though we are almost at the end of the video, it's about 11 minutes long, but this actually took me about 35 to 40 minutes to complete. And I kind of speed up the videos because I like for you all to get a general sense of what we're doing, and then, you know, go off and run and do your own thing, and let your own creativity and intuition come to the canvas and play. So this is what my yes looks like, but your yes might look completely different. So it took a while for that Y to dry, so I stopped the video there. But I went ahead and added some pictures so you could see the progress of the canvas. I added some spirals, and then I added some flowers. And I even added a full moon and the eclipse that went on the other night. And I hope that this canvas has inspired you to say yes to something new in your life. See you soon.